Hey everybody, it's Ken McElroy here. And so obviously we talk a lot about real estate strategies, making money, investing, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But I'm really excited to have Lyn on the show. Hi, Lyn.
Hey, good to be here.
So Lyn is our director of philanthropy. And so one of the things that we decided to do, as Lyn knows, I used to be a check writer, mostly for taxes. Not necessarily good, but the truth. I used to just write a check because I got a tax deduction. And then one year, somebody asked me to come to an autism walk because his son was diagnosed with autism, and it changed my life. And I was like, okay, there's a lot more to check writing. I need to be involved in the community.
Absolutely.
And then from there, I involved the company in the community. And lo and behold, my partner was doing the exact same thing, Ross, and all the employees. And everyone's like, well, we're all doing this independently. Why don't we embrace this as an organization and put some effort around it? Hire somebody who knows what they're doing. Lyn definitely knows what she's doing. We created a foundation called Sharing the Good Life Foundation. There's a link below if you guys want to take a look at it. And we are giving away money. We are raising money. We have some of our investments actually fund this with our money. Our investors are giving us money. Our employees are giving us money. And it's just come out of nowhere where it's been awesome. And so now, here's the cool part. It's completely employee run, right?
Correct.
So literally, Ross and I don't make any decisions on where the money goes. Literally, the employees make those decisions. And so if you're in the company, you can say, hey, I'm really passionate about this. And they put a grant in and we give them the money. We've never told anybody no, right?
We have not.
Yeah, ever. So it's their money.
That's right.
But just with a little bit of effort, and it's fun, guys. It's really fun. Last year, I think we gave to 42 different charities. I know 2 of the charities we gave over $100,000
Correct.
each. So this is real money, and it's really fun, and your employees love it. And more importantly, they have real needs.
That's right.
And it's helped in our retention. It's helped in our attracting new employees because they're like, you know what? You stand for a little bit more than just making money. We're also making sense.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely. Yeah, it is. That program has been an amazing program because you find out the heartbeat of your employees. What are they passionate about? And that's usually the hardest thing there is to philanthropy, is to meet with somebody and try to figure out what in the world do they want? What are they passionate about? And here we have this employee program that gives us that right off. And they say, I am passionate about this. Might be somebody in their family who's been impacted by a disease. It might be suicide. It is the gamut, as you said, 42 different organizations just last year. But just as importantly, you hear the heartthrob of your employees, and that is so great.
Right. And guys, it's not a lot of money in a lot of cases. Now, I throw these big numbers out, but in some cases, this is a $200, $300, $400, $500 donation. And to them, it means a lot.
Yes, it does.
Right?
It does. Yeah. And it means the world to what they tend to do also is they pick the smaller organizations. So some organization, and they'll say, you gave me $500. Why did you give me $500? And I said, because one of our employees knows you. They know what you do, whether it's animal rescue or whatever it is. But it tends not to go to those great large organizations. It goes to the small ones that are making a difference.
Right.
It's very fun.
So let's talk about what makes living the good life, like we've called it Sharing the Good Life Foundation.
Right.
So what does that mean to you?
It is impacting the community in which you live, because I think that's what it's all about. And, you formed this organization long before I got here, the foundation long before I got here. But I have to tell you, it's very unique. Not every company does this. Your larger companies do. But the smaller companies, not usually do they form a foundation for the specific purpose of making a difference in the communities where they live, where they have properties, where they have employees. It's just a great thing. And when you're seen in the community as somebody who gives back, and I'll share with you later, but we were at an event on Saturday and they said MC Companies is in the house. You get so that they know you. And that makes it really fun.
Yeah. Well, we have been unique. It's been wonderful. I think one of the things that hit everyone hard was this pandemic.
Absolutely.
Right? So there's a lot of things happening right now. A lot of people in pain, a lot of financial pain, a lot of mental pain. a lot of anxiety, a lot of stress on the future. So let's talk a little bit about how we've embraced that, because obviously things are tough, things are tight, people don't have money, and the foundation is also not getting as much money as it was, understandably.
Sure.
Right? But,
sure.
Well, let's talk about what we did during all this.
Absolutely. What is very special about Sharing the Good Life Foundation is that we are a small organization that makes us really nimble. And so when this pandemic hit, we put on hold everything that we had thought we would do for this year. And we changed our focus, we changed our mission, and we said, you know what, we've got to help this community because they're so impacted by what's going on. And so 3 things. Number 1, we took a look at who is impacted the most. Food banks. Food banks have been overrun. People are desperate for food, and they're desperate for donations to the food banks. So Sharing the Good Life was able to garner $70,000. $35,000 came from our foundation, and it was matched dollar for dollar by another foundation. So we garnered quickly, in less than a month, we garnered $70,000 to go to food banks that are in our area. So that's Oklahoma, Texas, and Arizona, because we knew that those were going to be the food banks that would be servicing our residents. And that's what we wanted to do, to make sure that they were taken care of. Second population we looked at were the homeless, terribly impacted by coronavirus. And so we did a water drive. We did a back to school drive for 600 homeless children to get their things and get back to school. And the third thing has been very, very unique. In a national disaster, the rules change, the regulations change for a private foundation, and it makes it a very unique opportunity. We have normally been only allowed to give to 501c3 charities. That's our mandate as a private foundation. When there's a national disaster, you are allowed to give individuals disaster relief support. And that's where we were able to do the most impact for our MC employees. So not a single MC employee has been laid off. That in and of itself is such a gift that we can still be working. Such a gift. But households of our MC families have been terribly impacted. They've lost a spouse's income, a partner's income, someone who's been contributing to their household. They completely lost that income because of COVID. And that's where we got to step in and give disaster relief. They could apply through an application process for up to $5,000. And they just tell us, here's what I need, here's why I need it. And we've given over $120,000.
Back to our employees, families, right? So not to them directly, but to their families that are in need. And no questions asked, right?
That's right. That's right.
Right.
All they have to do is just share that they've been impacted and how and why their income has been impacted.
Yeah.
That's it.
How great is that?
Oh, it's unbelievable.
I know.
Just been unbelievable. The thank yous that I get. Oh my goodness. I can hardly, choke back the tears when I get these. You've made a difference. You've kept us alive. You've done this. You've done that. It's just been phenomenal.
Times are tough. Tough. You need to take care of people.
Absolutely right.
So let's talk a little bit about, you've been with us a couple of years now. What is one of the most impactful places that we have given?
I think probably cystic fibrosis and autism are 2 corporate initiatives. I think those are probably the 2 that have been impacted the most by our volunteers, by our money, our contributions, but just by our support, moral, just morale for those 2 organizations. So we've done this year, of course, no walks. And so we did virtual walks for the autism walk. Everybody got to do whatever you wanted to do around your own house. So some people pulled wagons of kids, and we walked 1.54 miles for autism because 1 in 54 children are impacted by autism. But cystic fibrosis is probably the other one. And just Saturday, we did a cystic fibrosis event. Oh my goodness, it was so much fun. It was a car parade.
A what?
Car parade. And we got to caravan down to Tucson, to the Tucson Raceway. Now, I wasn't going to tell you that, I was behind a pace car. I was just going to say I drove the Tucson Raceway and let you think what you wanted to think. But we took 13 carloads of MC employees to this parade. We met at Petco parking lot, decorated our cars, blew up balloons, decorated our cars, and went over the Tucson Raceway, lined up, and we followed a pace car around the track. We got to go around 3 times, and following this PACE card just in support of CF, saying, we're here for you. Our company was by far the one that had the most in this parade, and we were all lined up right together. So we get up there and we think we're going to be all together, and they split our group, and they took the first part of the group around the raceway. And so we're all sitting here waiting our turn, and they come out and we're honking our horns and we're yelling and screaming. And I thought, oh, that's really too bad. This second group's not going to get that. They're not going to get that feeling that we were honking for them when they came out. So we go around one track. I look up, and who's sitting on the retaining wall going, "Go MC!" Patty McAllister.
Oh, that's awesome.
And so we did our laps. And when we came off, every single one of our employees who had already run is sitting in the parking lot waiting for us, cheering and clapping and jumping up and down, saying, "Great job." So I think probably that organization knows we're around the most.
So guys, talk about company culture.
Oh, it's amazing.
So again, we're not talking about making money here. We're
Right.
talking about, making sense.
That's right.
It's a big difference.
Oh, it's huge.
Right?
It's huge. It's making happiness is what it's making. Yeah. Those employees didn't give one dime that day, on Saturday. We were just there to show our support. But yeah, this MC family is unbelievable.
Thank you. It's been great. And well, you're certainly a pioneer. I appreciate everything you've done.
So fun.
So let's talk a little bit about, here we are in this pandemic. There's confusion around the vaccine, and there's confusion around employment. There's confusion around rent. Can we afford it? And and there's a lot of mental stuff happening. And so what are some things that we can all be doing during this holiday season? Because this is going to be rough. December's going to be rough for people. There's a lot of uncertainty, a lot of fear, a lot of anxiety, a lot of stress. What's something that somebody can do, just small, and not necessarily, give to us, but just to the community somehow, because there's a lot of, I tell you what, you flip on the TV, it's hard to watch. It's really,
I limit mine.
It's really negative.
Half hour a day.
Right,
It's all I
It's
can
tough.
handle.
It's tough, and it can really change your mindset and your mood. And so that what you just described, I'm like, who wouldn't want to do that?
Exactly.
Who would want to caravan down with a bunch of people during the COVID and drive around the Tucson Raceway and have fun? And that's what a lot of people are missing, the social piece. So what are some things that people can do?
Absolutely. I think it's the absence of what we normally do. And I think that's where you need to switch your head. Things aren't normal. Period. Things are as non-abnormal as they can possibly be right now. So I think people are missing what they normally do. And I think you just have to say, you know what? This is not a normal year. I'm going to have to do something that I don't normally do. And so what does that look like? It can be small. I will tell you, twice this month, I have driven through Starbucks and the car in front of me bought my coffee. Twice happened to me in the
Really?
last month. I pulled up to Starbucks and I had my phone ready to go. And I said, I have rewards. I have stars. This one's not going to cost me anything. And I hand it to him and he goes, sorry. He says, your stars aren't good today. I said, what? What do you mean my stars aren't good today? And he said, because that car bought your coffee.
So people are doing it.
People are doing it. They are. I held the door. A lady had packages up to here. I held the door for her. You would have thought I handed her $100 bill. She looked at me like I was, unbelievable that somebody would hold the door for her so that she could go through. It's a smile. It's a hold the door. It's a nod. I will tell you one of the most fun things we did this year, and nobody even expected to do it. We got to send Halloween cards to the children at Phoenix Children's Hospital virtually. We sent out a link, and everybody got to do their Halloween card, and they sent it. Those kids got thousands of cards at the hospital, Halloween cards. So you have to change your thinking. What's the small thing? Giving is more giving you than it is money. People appreciate you and your time and your thoughtfulness and your kindness more than they appreciate your check. And you learned that.
I did.
And you put the culture in this company
I really
that knows
did.
it too. You
it
did.
surprised me. It was a life-changing event to
Absolutely.
go to in need of a friend. I went there with low expectations, and I left there with a different view on what I needed to do. I realized that it's tough. Everybody's in a grind, and you think you don't have the time, and you write these checks, and you feel happy, but there's nothing like getting involved in a community. There's nothing like it, and seeing the people that need it, right?
Absolutely.
Actually, physically seeing it'll change the way you view things.
It will. It absolutely will. We've had employees. I had an employee call me just last week, and they said, I know that I need to give to food bank. I don't know what food bank to give to. I don't know how to do this, but I want to give something. What would you recommend? And I was able to walk through. Well, it hit on the National Gives Day, December 2nd. It hit on that day, and it tripled it. Tripled our donation. So it was really an exciting thing. But people are you're right. People are looking for things to do, and it doesn't have to be big.
Right.
It doesn't at all.
Right.
I mean, there are angel trees. We have one of our Texas properties is doing a toy drive for City Hope, it's called, and it's an organization that helps at-risk and homeless children. And this year they were like, we can't wrap, we can't do anything. So they gave the list to us virtually. We went on and we shopped. They're drop shipping it directly to City Hope. So they're still getting all these toys. The kids are going to have a great Christmas. And we didn't leave our office. We just donated in that way. So there's plenty you can do.
There's plenty.
Nonprofits are getting very, very inventive on how they are presenting their need and what they need. And they're presenting it online. If you look for it, you'll find it.
One of the things I did was I went from one end of my house to the other, and I said, okay, if I haven't touched or used this for like a year.
Oh, that's good.
I basically put it in my garage, and then with some help, because I didn't quite know how to do this, I had 2 truckloads of stuff. I put it out in the driveway. These are like, I have kids, I have all this stuff, and they're like, oh, you don't want to sell this? I go, no. Like, there's people that need this. So we stuck it out in the driveway. We put it up on Facebook. In 20 minutes, we had 50 people interested.
Perfect.
And we had a load on Friday, and we had a load on Saturday.
Fantastic.
And so I'm like, and everybody's like, are you sure you don't want to sell some of the stuff? I go, no way, man.
No.
Like somebody's
Much fun, more fun to give it away.
Yeah. And they took
fun.
like, these are like, there's some nice stuff. And I like, somebody's going to take this and they're going to sell it, or they're going to package it up and give it to someone else. There's going to be good uses for all this stuff.
Exactly
so
right.
there are ways to do things that are right in front of you.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yes.
That are
I have a neighborhood email system. And you know that it's safe because it's your neighbors, and we chat, and things that are going on in the neighborhood. But I had a desk, similar. I had a desk, and I thought, I don't need this desk. And it's small. It's like a student desk. Well, how many kids are home now?
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
Great.
And so I went on there, and I said, okay, neighbors, got a desk. It's yours, it's yours for the carrying.
Yeah.
And I had a dad come, and his son was in the car. And his eyes were so big. It was a nice wooden desk, and his eyes were so big. He says, Dad, is that for me? He said, yep. He said, that's for you. And put it in the car, in the back of his pickup, strapped it down. And, no greater gift than a wide-eyed child.
Well, that happened to me. I had a single mother with a teenage son come, and of course, my kids one's still a teenager, and one just became older than that recently, but I had all their stuff.
Oh, wow.
And we put it out, and they were like, oh my gosh, right? All this stuff for a teenager. So there's things that you can do right now, guys, that it's a win-win, and it's all right in front of you, right?
Absolutely right. It is. It's very exciting.
So where do people find us?
mccompanies.com, and you'll see a bucket on there that has Sharing the Good Life, and it says MC Gives. Click on there. You can go to the bottom of the page and click the donate button. Do you know what else about this company and the employees in it? Do you know employee giving to the foundation is up?
Is it really?
It's up. People are doing payroll deductions more than they have in any other year.
Wow.
So those who can are giving, and those who need help are getting it. So,
exactly the way
amazing.
It should be.
Exactly. So, just mccompanies.com, Sharing the Good Life. You'll see our name right there. You can click and donate through PayPal.
And if you guys have an idea that you want to do this, just send us an email. We'll get you in touch with Lyn. We're happy to walk you through this. You don't have to donate with us. you just need to take a look at doing something. There's a lot of people in dire need, and if you're in dire need, feel free to reach out too.
Absolutely.
So
absolutely.
Awesome.
Our vendors are another huge partners for us that are helping. And people we do business with, they say they don't have a foundation of their own, so they say, well, we'll give to your foundation. And the people we do business with are also helping us do philanthropy in the community. It's just amazing. They say, hey, we like your company. We don't have one of our own. Just put us on. So I send them a report. Here's what you did.
Good. Well,
you're part of it.
Just to follow up on that, for example, we did some loans with one company, and we said, listen, like, I know you made hundreds of thousands in fees. We want some of that for our donation. Yeah. So they take their fees and then they write a check back to our foundation. And it's literally just asking them to do it. Not everyone does it. That's okay.
Right.
But our flooring company has done that. They've been in, there are companies that actually, especially at the end of the year here, come to our foundation because they know how we work. It goes all back to our employees and the things that our employees are super passionate about.
That's exactly right. Yeah, they make a huge difference for us. They really do.
They do.
They're great partners.
Lyn, thank you.
Oh, pleasure. Thank you.
I think I'm beyond excited as to where this is going and where it's heading. And
well, we have some really exciting things happening for next year, too. We have a huge project that we're going to kick off at the beginning of the year, and it's going to be something I think MC companies will really get behind. I'm not going to tell you what it is. Maybe you'll have to have me back.
All right. I will.
I would love it.
Awesome.
Thank you
so much.
Thank you. Merry Christmas.
Yeah, you too.
Thank you.